good thing about Puerto Ricans.
Yeah.
They will give you an out if you piss them off. They'll go, you know, son, you know, what, you know, they'll talk to you. Puerto Ricans will talk to you because they know how serious they are about the violence and shit. You know what I'm saying? So they will let you get a reprieve.
Yeah.
But if it's not a black girl, because a black girl would have went, what the fuck did that bitch say? And her man would have tried to stop her because she would have immediately started lunging
Slapping.
at your woman. Yeah.
Slapping
so I know
nails,
it's a Puerto Rican
those
story.
big-ass nails. Now, I thought, like you said, the second it happened, I'm thinking 5 steps ahead.
Right.
Like, where is this going? I went into, like, defensive mode.
You should have.
I'm trying to figure out what's happening. And all I could figure is, if she lunges at my girl, I'm going to have to get in between. Because now that's my job. And if I even look like I'm injuring this guy's girl trying to keep her off of my girl, he then is going to stick a knife in my side.
But that's where you plead to him. See, this is.
But you can't do it during a physical dispute. There's no pleading. It happens like that.
This is where pimping is dying. You go and plead in pimp style to this guy while his girl's talking. I always disregard a woman in these situations. I look.
It's your own shit.
This one girl, I was at a show and she was like, "You suck. You ain't funny." Why? And I'm looking at her man like, I'm like, "Sweetie, hold on a second, dude. Now." I explained to the crowd, this is
You're
the type
appealing
of shit,
to the gentleman?
I said, this is the type of shit that get good motherfuckers in fights. Now, I cannot tell his girl, shut the fuck up. Now, I'm about 6'4", 300-something pounds. She can't beat me. The thing that she's doing is because I'm letting her do it. You understand what I'm saying? Girls do what you let them do when they're la. So I go, dude, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you to shut your fucking mouth, right? And then your man's going to have to protect your honor by fucking with me. Now, we 2 good motherfuckers sitting here getting ready to fight because you are an out-of-control bitch. And I had to tell this guy, listen,
making a great point,
you have to raise your bitch correctly.
You put it on the guy.
Always.
All of a sudden, now that guy's thinking, he was thinking, this motherfucker fucks with my bitch, I'm going to fuck him up. You turned it around to where if he fucks with you, it's now his fault for not keeping his bitch in control. Wow.
All right, let's go to the phones. John in Connecticut. John.
Patrice O'Neal.
Hey, guys, what's going on?
Hey, John.
I got to tell you this. Once you hear that, oh, no, you didn't, you got to just run because it's all bad news from there.
Run.
He sounds like he just recovered from something.
You do. I fled.
Yeah.
Because I'm in college. I'm coming out of the cafeteria. It's late at night. I got a hot chocolate in my hand. Some guy bumps into me coming out of the door, and about 2 or 3 drops of this hot chocolate hits this black chick's sweatpants. She goes into the, oh, no, you didn't. Like, huge scene. Now the whole campus center is watching us. She grabs the full cup out of my hand, throws it in my eyes, piping hot, right out of there. Straight out of the cafeteria, hot chocolate. But that's still not enough. Now her man has her in one of these arm locks. She's still, oh, no, you didn't. Oh, no, you didn't. Like, arms flailing, legs flailing. Like, he had to protect her from me. Meanwhile, I'm standing there, like, blind.
From hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Hot chocolate. That's extreme.
Yeah. So once you hear that, oh, no, you didn't, you gotta just get out of there.
Yeah, that's code for run.
Man, yeah.
All right. Thanks, John.
Thanks,
Let's go to Jim in Brooklyn. What's up, Jim?
Yo, what's happening, guys?
Hey.
A similar situation happened to me about 8 years ago. My wife was pregnant with our first kid. We walk into a small movie theater in the Heights here in Brooklyn. And you know how women get it. She was irritable. So we're sitting down listening to the movie. And all of a sudden, 2 young African-American girls were sitting in the theater. they start talking and yapping away, right? All right, so my wife is getting a little restless, and you know, and I felt the same way. But what am I going to do with 2 girls? So all of a sudden, like halfway during the movie theater, these girls were talking the whole time. My wife just turns around and like spit coming out of her mouth. Shut the fuck up! And then the 2 girls, like, no, she didn't. And then I'm saying to myself, oh shit, here we go. I mean, what am I going to do? We'll fight 2 girls? So when we leave the theater after the movie, the 2 girls are standing outside waiting to beat up my wife. She's 8 months pregnant.
Oh, man. Yeah, you don't want the after the theater fight.
No. But, but in terms of the situation being the way it was, well, what was I going to do? I had to jump in between if these two girls were going to grapple my wife. There's no way I was going to let them grab her and try to knock her on the floor. But it was one of the funniest situations. But like Anthony was saying before, you just slump down in your seat and you turn around. I turn around to my wife and I said, please. It's just two girls.
I've seen brawls going on in movie theaters where a guy is sitting there and the girl says something or he says something, and it's a group of Puerto Rican or black kids or something like that. You could usually shut white kids up. You really can. In certain theaters. Certain places, certain ages, in most cases.
Yeah, I agree.
But the only reason I know that is because I've seen people try. You rarely see... You see a group of black kids walk in or Puerto Rican kids walk in, and they are being loud, and they sit down. You don't say shit. You sit there and have your movie ruined. That's it. Because if you say something, no one's coming to your aid. I've seen it happen.
There's a way to...
could you be quiet? You shut up, motherfucker. You hear, like, from the back, and like, oh, boy.
Oh, boy, now there's a problem.
Oh, boy, now there's a problem.
First of all, this one thing that I do have to say... I guess I'm being from Boston. There's certain major cities where you do get white training. If you live in Manhattan, you get white training. Boston, Philadelphia. There's some white training going on where you deal with white people. There's some places if you're black, you don't understand passive aggression. Passive aggression is one of those weird things that, I'm sure before your girl and I'm sure before this guy's pregnant wife went to go shut the fuck up, it was turning around, looking, passive aggression, kind of.
Yeah.
You control yourself now, kind of.
Right.
And that also makes fucking, like, black girls very angry is that... And so they get louder. I bet you if you think about what happened, they got louder and louder as your girl's frustration, because they knew that what the fuck she's doing.
Well, there was other passive aggressiveness going on.
A lot of passive, and they get loud like, fuck, what you think you're white huffing? Gonna stop me, motherfucker? My house ain't fell down yet. You can huff and puff all you want, motherfucker. and it's like you just gotta go, yo.
All right, listen. I want to break in here because here's the real question. Brian's got it in South Carolina. Brian.
Yo.
Go ahead. Ask Patrice your question.
Patrice, man, I just want to know, how come it's like every time I go to it, it's not every movie, but it's every, like if it's a horror movie, why do the Schwoogies got to act up? Is it genetic? I mean, it'll be like somebody gets killed. Oh, look at that motherfucker right there. Oh, shit.
Well, I'll tell you what it is.
Yeah, you guys like to comment, man.
We're not
Black people like to comment at the movie theaters.
I don't mind the comments in a horror movie because it is funny. I've heard some funny shit coming out of a theater when in a horror movie. When you go, oh no, don't do that. I mean, it's a cliche hack like joke, but it is funny when it's happening. And it's not an involved movie. I'm talking about a movie maybe you got to keep some tabs on the beginning or what's happening, and some bitch is on her fucking cell phone talking like everyone wants to hear this conversation during the movie.
But it's only young cats, man, because movies are $12 now. Oh, you get somebody like my age, you don't see black people my age. Black people my age are doing what white people do now. Yeah. Oh, God. It's just like...
just sit and watch this feature.
Please, shut up. But it's like, it's a whole culture to movies for young kids. You go out, you spend $10 if the movie stinks. You just want to talk. You want to have fun. It's an event kind of thing. I think white people, white people will visit the theater from time to time, and it's like a quiet event. White people are just quiet for some reason. But
watch the movie.
Maybe I'll take it back and I'll rephrase this. Not necessarily black. It's an age thing, I believe. Because I was a loud motherfucker at the movies, and I was fucking funny loud at the goddamn movies. But... I think now as you get older, you get like...
You're right, it is an age thing, but when I went to go see King Kong, I'm in some Jewish movie theater, and there's about 5 kids, had to be anywhere from 12 to 15 years old, sitting in the back, wouldn't shut the fuck up.
White, black,
shut up. White
kids.
Oh, white little Jewish kids. But they're laughing, cell phone, yelling at the screen, talking, making jokes, wouldn't shut up. And a lot of shh going on from the theater. And they're like, yeah, you shut up. You know, oh yeah, like we're gonna be quiet. Being very disrespectful.
Say what you want.
So that was when I turned around and I said, on behalf of the theater, would you shut the fuck up? Now, I never would have done that if they were black or Puerto Rican. Never. On behalf, and I got a smattering of applause from the theater.
Fucking Anthony.
But because I knew that Jewish kids from Great
You
Neck
really could get away with
are
it.
not going to pull a knife out. They're not going to start shit. I could box them all.
Yeah, you assess the situation, then decide
Right.
what you're going to do.
You assess
whether you're
the
going to shut up or be brave man.
You don't have any of your girl got big mouth stories?
Well, we were in Philly once driving on, what's that, South Street or whatever it's called, and we're behind some really tough-looking motorcycle dudes, and they weren't going fast enough. You know how that road goes nice and slow?
Yeah.
And we're missing lights and stuff because they're going slow and starting up their bikes. They're out for a little joyride and just kind of taking in the scenery. So we're behind the motorcycles, and she reaches over from the passenger seat and decides to start beeping the horn to make them go faster.
Oh, no.
So I can relate to everything you just said.
What did you
Reach over,
say?
Because I'm like, are you kidding
crazy?
me? They're not going to beat you up. First of all, now they think I'm beeping because I'm behind the wheel, you know? I'm like, you're putting me in a bad situation here.
And you're not a pussy.
I'm not.
For completely getting as tough as you should be with the bikers as with her.
Right.
Like, are you out of your goddamn mind for doing that?
Yeah, because at that point, just like you said, you know, the next thing is, well, what happens next? They get pissed off. They're going to go to the passenger window because they think you're doing it.
And you're not going to go,
No,
that was this bitch that beat me.
Right.
But I would.
No.
I'm like, this bitch beat the horn.
No, they're going to get right up in my grill.
And you know what would happen if you do that? If more men stop thinking this chivalry shit and go, this bitch reached over and beat the horn, dude. You know what he would go? My bitch is goofy like that.
Yeah, just
and walk away.
goofy.
This stupid bitch beat the fucking horn.
Let's go to Massachusetts. Chris, what's up?
I'm just kind of sick and tired of hearing Patrice use the entitlement excuse every time he talks about women.
Yeah. See, this is an empathizer, sympathizer. You're the reason why life is fucked up for men right now, goofball motherfucker. You gotta learn. When I say entitlement, it's a thing that makes you think that there's a magical force around you that can protect you from different situations, that makes you behave irrational. Guys don't do that. Like, you would never, like, okay, right now you're talking to me over the phone, but if you was sitting next to me on the train or something like that, and you was with your wife would say something before you did. You know why? Because she has this protective thing around her. You wouldn't talk because we're both men, and it's possible somebody could get choked. And I'm saying you could choke me, I'm just whatever. We can fuck each other up. That's why we don't come out of our mouth to each other. Now, the superior physical person in this situation, which is the man, why don't we come out of our mouth to each other? Why don't we curse each other? Why don't I look at you and go, what the fuck? Yo, dude, why don't you shut the fuck up? You know why? Because we are in charge of physicality. Women aren't. They go, why don't you? I'm going to beat the horn because he's not going fast enough in my fucking world. This is what I mean by entitlement, dude. It's frustrating. You got to understand, you haven't raised as many women as I have. You're not a father.
Daddy Patrice.
Yeah, you're not a good daddy. I'm trying to tell you, man. You got to get that off your mind.
Huh?
You act like the black Dr. Phil.
Well, hey, don't get mad.
I like that.
You enjoy Dr. Phil. Why enjoy the black one, motherfucking shit?
Hey, I like Patrice's, view on the world.
Is he more qualified than I am? He just got a couple of papers. I'm too lazy to go to school and actually get validated. But the word entitlement, I might run it in the ground. I'm not fucking Captain Dictionary. That's the word I use, and that's the word that I embrace. Entitlement, man. You got to understand that it's your fault, and guys like your fault for us being in spots where you can get beat up by a biker, stabbed by a family of Puerto Ricans, smacked in the face by some dudes. You got to tell your girl, look, if you're not going to fight, if you can't fight, if you're not going to whoop this guy's ass in your own mind, in your own credit, shut your mouth. Shut up.